Hello from the Deep Play Retreat. I am attending with Jenna Matlin, Mary K. Greer, and Drea Bloom. It is delightful to be settling in for July. I'm just skipping ahead in timeline, aren't I? You'll definitely see some shifts of the light, since I am just outdoor and natural light and didn't travel with any of my lights and things like that, because it's just a lot more than I wanted to deal with between going to convocation and coming here. So I have 3 things to pull from for our March 2024 forecasting, including a brand new charm bag that I adorned last night, because I am one of those people that, yeah, I totally travel with a sewing kit and it comes in handy. So today for March forecasting, I'll be pulling from some charms, Modern Witch Tarot by Lisa Sturrell, and Sovereign Oracle with the Creative Expansion Pack by Teresa Pridemore. And you may, see things from the retreat off to the side. Today is one of our days off, which makes it the perfect time to tune into March. And I thought July again. So maybe we're going to have some July creeping in here as well as March. It'll be interesting to revisit this video in July. So starting us off, the Ace of Pentacles, March will be a time, and maybe July, March will be a time of new seeds growing, new connections with new work, new home, new jobs, all of those lovely seeds to plant. And for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, we are getting into our planting time. So that's a part of this also, choosing which seeds we want to plant, deciding and envisioning that garden and gathering all of our supplies. Come the center of March, we may see some conflict with this 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands is, especially this particular one, which shows martial arts practice, has both a fun component, a martial component, a embodiedness component, as well as healthy ways to work out aggression, healthy ways to get anger out of our bodies, and different tools for handling conflict. And with that, other ways for handling conflict. We may want to compose, to write it all out at length, to send a letter to the right person to move things forward. So if we have problems with jobs or with customer service or something that is happening in Portland right now, there is talk of what's going to happen with the Keller Auditorium, and it seems like no one is actually listening to the user groups and the workers that will be most affected by anything that happens at the Keller Auditorium. And one of the things being talked about just yesterday was writing letters to the editor to get the stagehand point of view across, to get the Portland Opera view across, and doing that same sort of thing in your world. It also may be writing letters to Amnesty International, calling your elected officials on things that are important to you, abortion access, IVF access, anything like that, and steel yourself for the next step. It might push your edge, which don't those two tie in together. potently, like, be ready for the fight, be ready for the work, do what you need to do to feel strong, to feel confident in your skills, confident in your fire, in your seeds of truth and center. And looking at that circle right now, and sometimes the circle is also like, and for whatever reason, I'm seeing like belly circle. Um, yeah, and underneath everything towards the end of the month, justice. May there be justice. May there be justice. So, with that, I am going to shift where I have the cards, because right now I have the cards placed on my computer keyboard, and I'm going to move those down because but I want to make sure that okay, we're going to leave them on the computer keyboard because the table that I'm on has slats on it, and I don't want the charms to fall through. So we'll see if they're strong enough to click things on my keyboard. It will be a grand adventure. So let's see if there is anything that is charms. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a small pinch, closing my eye, seeing how that. Ooh, okay. So I will take a picture of this to upload on my Patreon in the free segment. So we have the Pentacle charm that is falling between the Ace of Pentacles and Justice. So that speaks to Earth, that speaks to magic. And we individually, we collectively may want to be a magical bridge towards justice. And I'm going to pull another card and see if there is something that wants to be added there for that bridge. And we are given the sun. And so in placing the sun there and then putting the pentacle on top of it, that puts the pentacle right on top of the child's face. So thinking about the next generations, both immediate and 7 generations ahead, of letting, like, whether we have children biological or of choice ourselves, because I most certainly do not, and I'm very happy to not. But letting the magic that we may create for justice be generational and be really rooted in the earth and energized by the sun. We have the reindeer that is sort of up and to the up and to the right of the Ace of Pentacles, also between the Ace of Pentacles and Justice, where the Sun card is bright and glowing. And the reindeer is a card for North, is a charm that I've created for North, and virility. So it will be a potent time, or there will be potent energies in our backgrounds and around us for this work. The majority of the charms have all fallen on compose. The whale tail for water and oceans, the Pegasus for flight, and the cat for animal familiars and children of choice. And so composing things literally for them that are in service of the waters, that are in service for taking flight and whatever that higher self, higher good, not just for us, but generationally, composing the letters to ourselves, to future generations. I'm remembering a technique of Mary Kay Greer's where you write a letter out to yourself, to someone else about 5 years from now, and everything else about that is very much for her to share and not for me to share, but it is that is very much coming up here. And the tail of the whale is literally on the words move things forward, like that tail swimming, like swim that forward. This springtime energy or autumn time energy is active and moving and churning right now, and helping us to navigate those waters is vulnerability. Take the first uncomfortable step. Don't wait for others. Tell someone how you feel and be responsible for doing it. So using those good I statements, and lead others through the pulsing of your open heart. What is it that you are passionate about in these current times? You know, it's super easy to become overwhelmed, to go, what can I do? And to narrow things down. What are 3 things that you're really passionate about? Or 2 things you're really passionate about? Or just one thing that you're really passionate about, an issue that you want to continue following forward and keeping eyes on. Because one of the things in these current times is that it can be really challenging to keep tabs on all of the things because there is just so much going on, and none of us can do it all. So how can you simplify for yourself and choose that 1, 2, or 3 things that, or maybe even 5, you know, we have this 5 of Wands here, break the rules a little bit. But we also have the Ace of Pentacles, which has a 1 pentacle, and we have a Sun, which has 1 sun, 1 small child, 1 horse. We have Justice, that is 1 central person. We have that Ace of Pentacles that is holding that hand out, lightly cupping that star within a golden sphere. And maybe it's just one, like maybe it's even one part of your body, especially for those of you who are immunocompromised or have any other sort of body stuff and health issues going on. Maybe you focus on just one. Obviously, I am not a health practitioner. Listen to your doctors. Consult them before you do anything. But maybe there wants to be a simplification this month in some fashion. And that youth, my eye just keeps being drawn to how the pentacle is right between, like on the face of the child. And I'll, as I said, I'll take a picture of this to share, like is on the face of the child, and consequently like a little between it and the gray mane of the white horse. And there's magic in those in between spaces. And it's also right at the end of the small child is holding a red flag that's waving in the breeze, and the pentacle also nestles perfectly within the curve of the red flag. So there also might be something there about like being outside of nationality, being outside of whatever flag or banner raising is potent for you and where you're at, whatever part of the world you're in. But that reindeer on the outside, that reindeer on the outside, that also, being a symbol of virility. And again, with these charms, these are associations that I have created for my personal charm basket, and I'm like learning and growing. Y'all are getting the very first one of these. So no doubt it will change over time, but also consequently, if you choose to add charms to your own practice, like you'll do it your own way. And all of this is teaching of Jenna Matlin's. And so if you want to really dive into that, go and find a class with Jenna. But I want to pull a card to see what external resources are out there that the reindeer might be pulling into. The Two of Cups. So our relationships, the things that we literally love, the things that literally nourish us and that are nourished by us. So let's feel how this wants to sit. So the Two of Cups wanted to be a little like sprawled out and back, and consequently the reindeer ends up right on top of the lighthouse. And so what's lovely about that is there is this distance, there is this heart relationship centeredness, healing resource in the foreground, and this strong virility winter resource in the background. And so that speaks well to having energetic resources for a good few months, because the reindeer is for winter. And so for those of us in the northern hemisphere, that obviously gives us a little more time than for y'all in the southern hemisphere, who are much closer to winter than we are. And since we are just moving out of winter, so that's also like coming to the back a little bit. And yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right. You can cut me. But that those resources being on top of a lighthouse, there is some distance, and you have to like work to get there, sort of thing. But it's also, they're always there as a beacon. You know where to go to find them, and it's just a matter of going and asking for them, or starting that lighthouse back up again. Or at least on the West Coast, we have some lighthouses that you can spend the night in, and forest fire watchtowers and things like that. So there also may be an aspect of being vigilant and being watchful in March. I hope this helps, and I will see you all in my next video. Have a beautiful day.